Hey, it's Nicole from AttractiveMenMaster.com with this really incredible question from a reader, and I'm going to read it actually off my computer. Hi, Nicole. I'm a fan of yours. I've been reading your articles, and you're simply overflowing with love, wisdom. Thanks so much. You're a blessing to us women. Nicole, I must admit that I've violated many of your rules in relationships, despite religiously reading your articles. It's just that I cannot control my surge of emotions every time my man displays unpleasant characteristics such as not replying to my texts, going out of town without telling me, replying to female text mates, staring at other attractive females in my presence, thinking of his interests first before mine, and the list goes on. You know, it's almost impossible to keep my cool in these circumstances or even maintain happy thoughts when my man behaves badly. Well, of course, his actions should not define how I feel, but I just feel awfully bad, angry, bitter, insecure, jealous, cheated, you name every bad feeling every time he displays such behavior. Nicole, can you help me get out of this wicked witch syndrome? Or she wants to know, can you help me get out of this wicked witch inside of me? I just want to know the proper way of behaving when confronted with his behavior or this behavior. Thank you. Badly needed wisdom. Well, this is in response to one of my articles that I wrote, and it's called Secrets to Mastering Attracting Men. And in that article, I talked about how if you want to know how to attract men, it starts with an inner magnetism. It starts with an inner sexy. It starts with the inner power to be able to pull what you want from the outside of you. You have to cultivate and create it within. And in that, I gave a reference about how to cultivate that inner power. And one of the references I gave was about meditating on certain qualities that will create those kind of, that power, that feeling inside of you. So she's wanting to know, you know, when this guy goes off and does whatever he's doing, she has a hard time controlling her emotions. So this is the huge secret with this. If you're in the same situation, or if I'm talking to you right now, I'm not going to name her name. Name starts with M. And you are faced with all of the stuff that this guy's doing, like he's not paying you attention. He's basically doing whatever he feels like he wants to do. The secret to this is that you cannot wait until you're actually in the situation to practice this skill. You can't wait until you're in the situation to practice this skill. If you wait until you're in the situation to practice this skill, you will not have any power within the situation. You actually have to practice this skill. You have to learn to own this skill. You have to set aside time to actually practice this on your own, maybe 5 minutes a day, in order for you to have the power and the strength to feel the kind of to actually respond, I should say, in the way that you should respond in this situation. So if you find that you're totally on an emotional roller coaster, it just means that you haven't set aside the time. Just like if you want to learn tennis, you have to set aside the time to practice the game. If you want to learn how to play the piano, you have to set aside time to practice your game. You can't just go into a tennis match with a star or a pro and expect to win. It's the same thing with practicing these specific skills. If you want to have power within the situation, you must first contain that power within you. You must first allow for yourself, or give yourself the permission to build that internal power by applying your mind to certain qualities. Then you practice it also out of the presence of your man, out of the presence of your boyfriend, or out of his presence. Like if you want to maintain a state of happiness, when you go out and you're interacting with people, or even at work, you are always thinking about that state in your mind. So that when you're faced with something that does not make you happy, then you know immediately how to respond to that. How do you know how to respond to that? Because you've been cultivating the state of happiness in your mind. You've been cultivating that strength in your mind. You've been cultivating that power in your mind. So when you are faced with something to respond to, you're going to respond to it with power, not weakness. You're not going to be like a weak woman who's falling apart because of all the stuff that he's doing, because of how he's reacting, because of how he's behaving around you. You will have the power that is built up inside of you in order to practice. Sorry, you'll have the power that is built up inside of you, but in order to do that, you have to practice it. That's the big secret. So when you're referring to my article, Secrets to Master and Attracting Men, and you hear me saying that you have to be in a state of happiness, then you think that when your man's doing all these things, you can't be happy. It's because you haven't built that inner community within. It's a matter of learning how to build that inside of you. It's a matter of meditating upon these principles until it actually sticks to the wells of your inner spirit, until it actually sticks to the wells of your being. Now, when you begin to practice it, your mind's going to think, what the hell are you doing? Because it's not used to kind of cultivating that energy or that vibration inside. So you're going to face natural opposition, as everything does in nature. When a plant is coming up through the ground, it's facing opposition. So when you are practicing this skill, your mind is going to make you think that it's not being effective, that you're not getting anywhere with it, that it's no point, it's no use. I've been doing it and it's not working for me. That's just a natural part of how the law works. Because think about it. You've had the old programs for such a long time. These have been running through your brain and through your system for so long. So how do you expect, by starting to practice something, just by doing something for a few minutes or even a couple of days, that you're automatically going to switch over? That's just not the way it's going to work for you. You have to understand the law of your mind. And once you begin to understand the law of your mind, you make the application on a daily or consistent basis. All of a sudden, when he's replying to his female text mates, let me read here. When he's replying to his female text mates or staring at other attractive females in your presence and going out of town without telling you, all of a sudden, you will know exactly how to respond. Something will surge inside of you and you will know exactly how to respond to him. And you will know how to respond to him with power, not weakness, not begging, not trying to, not coming across as needy, not coming across that you're broken and just souling over it because he's not responding the way you want. You'll know how to respond. You will know how to respond because that knowing is built up inside of you from the times that you spent practicing it. So she said, thanks, Nicole. Can you give me a personal note that can redeem me from my present misery? Now, your misery is a state of mind. Like, I'm telling you, it affects all of us. It could be maybe the time of the month. It could be situations aren't going the way we want them to go on the outside of us. One moment we're up in the sky, and the next moment we're down in the dumps. That's just the way our emotions work. And that's just the way we perceive things. Like, we don't always perceive things as going really well, like it's going really great, because we are emotionally driven creatures. So your present misery is just a state of mind. In reality, you don't have a present misery, because if you build up that strength and that power inside of you from spending time and cultivating that inner kind of government inside of you, you will understand very clearly that you don't have any misery, that your misery is just a state of mind. So I hope that has been helpful, and I hope that you take the time, at least 5 minutes a day. And one thing you can start by doing is once a day before you get into bed is to go into the mirror and look in the mirror and say, you are powerful. I love you. What you speak to grows. If you keep telling yourself you love you, the love for yourself will grow. If you keep telling yourself that you are powerful, power will grow inside of you. So it's only when you are actually in that space where you can use your words to activate that energy inside of you, because it's your words that do it and your thoughts, that you will actually create what you want. So do that. Spend 5 minutes a day practicing, meditating upon the qualities of the state of happiness. Think about times when you have been the happiest in your life, and please do that outside of maybe the memories that has been created in you from your relationship. So think about times, maybe it was when you saw a baby, maybe it was when you were on the swing when you were a childhood, maybe it was when you got together with your girlfriends and you had just the most amazing time and you were laughing until you were in stitches. You gotta mull that over in your mind over and over again, so that your mind is learning that language of happiness. Okay? So think about that, then sit down quietly, take a deep breath, and meditate upon qualities of just being at peace and being calm, and just close your eyes and meditate upon what really it is, or what really means to be happy. What does it really mean to feel power, to feel content, to just let go? Really, really think about that and spend time thinking about that. I hope that I've been helpful. If you have any questions, write me at Nicole@attractingmenmastery.com. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.